Welcome to Studio 125, where we're shooting live, bringing you the Melanated Perspective. I am your host, J.R. King.
And I'm Mike Knight. This is our platform where we choose to talk about topics trending in today's society, be them good or bad, from the perspective of two intelligent black men. Tell me a little more about what we bring to the table, JR.
Here at Studio 125, I'd like to introduce Zion Zest. Zion Zest's main mission and goal is to bridge the gap between the black family and the community. We feel there's a lot of things lacking in the black family, in the black community, and we want to bring some clarity to that, some education, some guidance. Through that, we would like to work with the youth hand in hand, and we would like to teach them, first of all, things like our true history. We feel like the education system has failed a lot of our youth. They don't teach why, how we got here, and we want to bring that to them. We feel like that's so important because being able to see greatness in yourself is really important. I feel like it's really lacking in our youth.
Yeah, man. I have to build off that, man. It's everything he said is detrimental, to our children, man. Because they are the future, and a lot of people have made these attempts to try to do, what we're attempting to do, and for whatever reason, they just didn't succeed the way that they probably wanted to. But we don't have a plan B, man. We won't fail. We got to succeed with this because like I just said, the kids are our future, man, and they can't really be the future if they don't know their past. See what I'm saying? So
Perfectly said.
yeah,
Other things we would like to bring is education to the food that we eat. Um, During research, we come up with that we lived off a slave diet all these years. And we need to really just break down, how do you live off what the earth provides for you? Instead of going to the doctor for medicine, how can you go get herbs to make you well? We need to teach people how to live and to live off the earth. In doing that, we have a program I'd like to introduce. We call it the Field to Table program. This is bringing our black youth, our black families. We're bringing them together, showing them how to go from dropping a seed into the ground to growing this plant and using this plant to feed your family, to heal your body, and to just build our communities back.
yeah, man. I love it, man. I mean, basically, teaching the kids and adults, who are willing to participate, the how to get back to the basics. Excuse me, how to get back to the basics of survival, man. Instead of we got to learn how to deprogram ourselves from depending on the government and society for everything. We should be self sufficient. We were made with everything we needed to survive within us, and that's a concept that we agree on, and we really trying to push to whoever willing to listen.
One thing I believe wholeheartedly is we all have God inside of us. Regardless of what God you identify with, you still have God inside of you. I feel like we were all made in God's image. And we want to teach how to bring that inner God out. Let everyone know that there's no limitation to what we can do if we stay focused and put our mind to it. So by bringing the youth in, we don't want to be the old people, just bring them in and say, hey, you're doing things wrong, young fella. Nah, that's not our approach at all. Here at Studio 125, we have a multimedia center. We would like to offer the kids a place to express themselves more than verbally. Some people may need to sing it. Some people may need to write it out, act it out. And we want to give them a platform to come learn, have fun and learn music, video, photography, any kind of way that they can express themselves. We want to be able to offer that. And then once we gain their attention, we gain their trust, then we bring the good stuff. Then we bring the education.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think something the late great Nip had tried to put in place before he passed, something like a space for creators uh, called Vector 90. Well,
Factor 90.
that's the same approach we're taking, man. A place where creators of any kind, any walk of life can come and feel at home. You know, we're sitting here filming a podcast. Well, guess what? This is a place you can film your podcast if that's your way of expressing yourself. Um, you want to learn how to code. Guess what? We can offer you those types of courses on instruction. You want to learn how to produce music. We can offer you that. I mean, it's just a place for not just just to come together and talk, but open up because everybody has a talent. I don't care what it is. Everybody has a talent, and you shouldn't be scared to express or show your talent. And this is a safe place for that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Speaking of safe place, I just want to push the fact that I want this, we envision this as a safe haven. We want this to be a place to where if you're broken and you feel like you just need to be healed, you can come here. And we also have programs that we're going to implement surrounding that. My wife has a beautiful team of young ladies and women that she'll be working with. We'll bring her on a little later and get her to explain. But I would just like to touch on a few. The mind, body, and spirit alignment program. That's where you can come learn about yourself, get in touch with yourself, learn to have inner love, ground, meditation, Reiki, things like that, which I'm not that good with, so I'm not going to go into anymore. But when we bring her on, I'm pretty sure she'll be more than happy. We're also going to be introducing a podcast that they will be bringing us called A Queen's Dawn. And once again, I'll bring my wife on to speak more on that. But what do you think about bringing the young ladies on and the people who need healing spiritually?
Man, I think that's a great idea, man. The young ladies and the young men, because um, like I don't think I said it. I'll say it now. The young people need a voice, and we've been discussing and detailing a lot of stuff that we have going on here. But one of the things we both haven't mentioned to you all yet, one of the purposes of the Melanated Perspectives podcast is to give a voice besides our own to the youth of the same topics that we will be discussing. Well, guess what? We have a treat for you all because a part of our approach is to offer kids, the youth, the future, the same opportunity to tell us how they feel. Right. Nobody ever discusses to kids, talks to kids about how they feel about things. We're gonna give them that chance because they just as important as we are, you know.
If not more important at this point, because they are our future, and we need to be a helping hand to guide them through life. Not tell them, hey, you're going to do this, you should do this because look, I had this experience, so let me share my experience with you to help you not make the same mistakes I made. Now, we don't know if you make the left turn while I made a right turn, what that's going to bring us.
Exactly.
But together, we can learn what that right turn will bring, and we can teach someone else that's coming up. So long as we keep that flow, I can't wait to sit down with these young, beautiful minds, to sit down and just hear their point of view about life, just life in general.
Yeah.
What about COVID-19? How does it affect them? My second daughter was graduating when COVID hit, and she had to graduate out the window of our car, a drive-through. We went in the parking lot, made a U-turn, Can you imagine you work your whole life to get to this point and it's all taken away? You don't get to walk across the stage. All the great things you heard about it. Let the youth tell their side from
Yeah.
that. We
I
don't
mean,
never hear that. It'd
yeah,
be
I mean,
amazing.
exactly. I didn't mean to cut you, but that's unprecedented in history. I mean, that whole generation, like he said, that one experience, nobody, I do not recall no stories being brought up about that whole generation who had to graduate or, go to the next level in their learning process or their learning experience through COVID-19. You know what I'm saying? And that's just one of the things we gonna get to,
Right.
offer a place for these kids to talk about. I want to say something. We are most of us adults are in the traditional mindset, and we believe that it takes a village. We talk about we want to get back to that. Well, we believe we can't forget that the kids are part of the village too.
Mm.
So yeah,
Yeah, most definitely. Like I say, if not more important.
if not more important.
If not. Another way I feel like our education system is failing them is I don't feel like we're prepared when we get out of high school. We don't know things like credit, money, budgeting, just handling finances altogether.
Yeah,
We don't know these things when we get out. And I want to make sure that we can bridge that gap also.
yeah,
Get maybe an accountant or two to come through, talk money with the kids, sit here and go over goals, planning, and executing, and figuring out how to get what you want out of life and pretty much be an all-around successful adult. We just want to make sure that we are here to help that. And we want to offer anyone who hears this message to, please join us. This needs to be a global thing. This is not just something that we envision. I'm sure that we all sit around and say, hey, we should fix this as a people. Well, this is your invitation to join us in that. Whatever your vision looks like to help that cause, we just welcome that.
exactly, exactly, man. I mean, you're more than welcome because we know, one person or two people can't do it all.
Right.
And if you are a experienced person in anything we've spoke on or things we haven't spoke on, reach out to us. We'll be more than willing to have a sit down with you,
Mm-hmm.
and see what it is you bring to the table. We would gladly share what we bring to the table, and see what we can come up with to move forward with something to help build up our communities, not just here in Augusta, Blythe, Georgia, or but before communities around the world, man. Because unless you've been living under a rock, we it's a war going on outside. You know.
Yeah, it's been a war going on outside. So, oh, I love this so much. I ain't gonna lie. Just having the opportunity to sit here and knowing that eventually everything that we're talking about, we're going to be able to present to you guys. It just brings me joy just even thinking about that.
Yeah.
I don't mean to just
Go
let me
ahead.
get this quote out.
Go ahead.
I remember, and this is one of my favorite quotes ever. It's by Tupac.
Mm.
He said, I'm not going to be there. Well, I'm not going to be the voice that changes the world, but I'm going to spark the mind in somebody that will. And that's kind of what I feel like we're trying to do here. I think that's the perfect quote. That's what we are going to do here.
Yeah.
If we can just spark the mind, because
Yeah.
most of the problem is our kids can't see outside of their situation. If you grow up in the ghetto, you grow up in a spot to where your options are very limited. It's hard for you to see more than just that situation.
Yeah.
So by taking them out of that, bringing them to the country, showing them what living off the land is, showing them how you don't need a doctor to stay healthy. You don't need someone to tell you that you have ADHD. These are things that they put label on us and we get stuck in a box. We want to teach them how not to live in a box, how not to live in a comfort zone, how to just grow and love life and live in the moment and not worry. That's what I want to offer. That's what we are going to offer.
Yeah. most definitely. You know, and everything he said, you know, everything he said, and we, if you have, you know, different views from what we have, I mean, that's fine, you know, because we're all individuals, you know, but unless you've been again living under a rock, the way you've been um conditioned to think hasn't been working too good for you. You know, you got to see is more to what you were told that the base is. You know, reality as we know it, you know, is just not, you know, the same no more. We got to understand that, man, this ain't adding up. But once you know something ain't adding up, then you got to sit down, you know, reassess the situation and do that math over again, come up with a different solution.
That's right. That's right. Another way that we're going to try to bridge the bridge to build a bridge with the community would be through local businesses. We look forward to reaching out to all the local businesses here in Blythe. We have what some of us consider a Black Wall Street and Tobacco Road.
Mm.
Tobacco Road is lined with a lot of black businesses. We're looking forward to going through to see who want to sit down and talk. Let's talk about the journey. Let's talk about your struggles, your success, and how you got where you are. We want to make sure that we highlight all the local businesses, not only local businesses. One thing I hate is to watch the news and see negativity every time it pops on. Well, I want to be the opposite of that. I want to be able to bring you guys the local heroes, the people who have a nonprofit that are saving lives out here, the people who are going to the courts with the juvenile who are maybe facing life,
Mm.
and they go into the court to fight on their behalf to make sure that they have a different outcome other than just prison. We want to make sure we highlight these individuals. We want to bring them on, give them their flowers while they're here. We don't want to wait till these people, these great local people, are gone and then say, hey, remember this person worked with? No, let's give them their flowers now. And that's what we want to bring.
He was a good man. She was a good woman.
Yeah,
And you got the opportunity, you know, to tell them how great they are, how
that's
good
right.
they are while they're here. You know, I mean, we'll even, well, not we will, we are looking to even give some children who are doing the right thing,
Most definitely.
you know, some shed some light on them, give them their flowers, you know, let them know to keep doing what you're doing, and not only to keep doing it, inspire somebody else to do it because, hey, one of the greatest human acts that you could actually do is to inspire, you know. And if we could, you know, get a kid, you know, in high school, middle school, even elementary, if they want to come talk, to sit down and talk with us and tell the world what they're doing and their mindset and why they're doing it and why they chose to stay in the path that they're in. You don't know what that, you know, what do with somebody. That could, like you just said, the Tupac quote, that could spark something with somebody else. You know, so those are type of things we that's what we own.
Hmm.
That's what we own, and that's how we coming. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, this has been just a little intro about what we offer here at Studio 125. It's been a good intro to tell you all to introduce you all to our podcast we have coming, the Melanated Perspectives.
Melanated perspective.
Yeah, and you see where our heads at. I mean, if you like some good conversation, you can see, you know, we partake. Um, I mean, it's gonna be honest conversation. It's not gonna be no yes man type conversation. You know, we may even be, you know, sometimes you may, man, they like each other. We're gonna disagree sometimes, but we're gonna keep it professional because, you know, a conversation has to have a balance. You know, anything, excuse me, anything that's just everything is just one way, some ain't right anyway. You know, so that's what we're gonna be giving you all once we start unleashing the kraken of content we got
Unleashing the Kraken.
for the Melanated Perspective podcast, man. And
Yeah.
you know, I really can't wait. We got some stuff in the vault already. ready to go. And yeah.
Oh yeah. So I just want to remind we want to focus on the youth, but we don't want to be these old guys who just tell them they're wrong. So I just want to share a couple ideas we have to keep it fun. Everyone has a different way to express themselves. So we will have live events that we will go live on the podcast. Give the young adults a chance to express themselves while we're live. Get an interview right when they come off the stage. I think that'll be great. Just give them a chance to shine. No one wants to just put them on a pedestal.
Right.
I want to make sure we put them on a pedestal.
That sounds great. That sounds good, man. And I mean, I don't know if you all are familiar with the event center here at Studio 125, but we've had events
Right.
here, and and turnouts have been great a lot of the times, and the talent. I mean, I've seen people I didn't even know were in the city. Excuse me. With immense talent, and I just can't wait to be able to, like he said, when we get things scheduled again, to go live by way of the podcast, so you all can see. You gonna start thinking differently about your future being in good hands. That's all I can say. Because some of these kids, man, I mean, they just need a platform to show you what they're about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I can't wait to start aspiring. But we're gonna wrap this up. This was our introduction to the Melanated Perspectives to give you guys a little bit of insight of where we're coming from. We want to let you know that we don't plan to be the same old kind of podcast. We're going to bring you different outlooks. Outlooks from the kids to the adults to the family to young relationships to old relationships to everything in between.
Yeah. To politics, to spirituality, religion, the government, everything he said, everything I said. I mean, it's nothing under the sun or out there in the moon that's off the table. We're gonna talk about everything.
For you conspiracy theorists out there, got you covered too.
Yep, we want it.
I'm on that shit.
How the kids say, we want that smoke.
We want that smoke
We
too.
want that smoke. But yeah, right now you'll be able to catch our episodes on the Straight Like That multimedia YouTube channel. We also will be having um, episodes posted to our Melanated Perspectives YouTube channel coming soon. So once you find us, subscribe, like, and by all means share.
Share.
Share and share alike.
Straight like that, man. We do it.
Okay.
Thanks for
Well,
joining us.
thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next time.
Yes, sir.
Peace.